She walked across the room, and the whole hem of her skirt moved with her. A soft midi that swayed just below the calf, catching the light as she went, and every woman in that room watched her cross it. She wasn't in anything loud. No heels clacking, no bold print, just a fluid skirt that moved like water when she walked. And I remember thinking, why does that look so effortless on her, and so wrong on me? Because for years I put on a midi skirt and looked in the mirror and felt frumpy, dumpy even. I thought the skirt was the problem. I thought my body was the problem. It was neither. Here's the truth no one ever handed me, friend. Women give up on midi skirts thinking they look shapeless and matronly, and it is almost never the skirt. It is the length landing in the wrong place, and it is the shoe underneath. That is it. It's not you. After 60, most of us want two things at once from our clothes. We want comfort, and we want a little grace. We don't want to fight a waistband all day. And the midi skirt gives us both, when it's done right. When it's done wrong, it swallows us whole. So today, I'm going to walk you through 11 small midi skirt secrets that quietly change everything. And I'm going to be honest with you the whole way. The way a good friend across the kitchen table would be. Not a stylist, just a woman who wore hers wrong for a decade and finally figured out why. Stay with me all the way to the end, because there is one thing that quietly ruins a midi skirt on absolutely anyone, at any size, any age, and the fix takes about 2 seconds. I'll show you exactly what it is. Let's find what makes you feel seen again. One small change at a time. Now, before we start, let me say the thing I always say. I am not a fashion expert. I don't honestly believe anybody really is one. We're all just trying to get dressed in the morning and not look ridiculous, and to feel a little bit like ourselves when we catch our reflection in a shop window. So everything I share with you today, these are suggestions, they are not rules. There's no dress code police coming to your door. If you love your midi long and floaty and it makes you happy, wear it long and floaty. My job is just to tell you the little things I wish someone had told me 20 years ago, so you can pick and choose what feels right for your body and your life. And I'll tell you the truth. I almost wore the wrong thing this very morning. I stood in front of my closet with a pretty pleated midi in my hands, ready to put it on with a pair of flat round toe shoes, and I caught myself, because I know now exactly what that combination does to a woman with short calves. And I have short calves. Little stumpy things, if I'm being honest with you. My legs stopped growing about the time most women's are just getting going. We'll get to that, because it turns out even a short-legged woman can wear a midi beautifully. You just have to know the secret. Let me back up though, because the very first secret is the one that matters more than all the others put together. Here's why any of this matters more after 60, and it isn't a matter of covering up. Nobody hands you a memo when your body changes. 1 year, the clothes that always worked just quietly stop working, and no one tells you why. Our proportions settle. A little more softens through the middle, our posture changes a touch, and the cuts that were forgiving at 40 can start fighting us at 65. The midi skirt is one of the most beautiful, comfortable, dignified things a woman our age can wear, but only when you understand the handful of small things that make it sit right. And that's all this is. Small things. Nothing about hiding, everything about knowing. The most stylish woman I ever knew was 78 years old, and she broke every single rule, including the one that says we're too old for a midi skirt. Her name was Colette. She was a friend of my aunt's, tiny thing, silver hair pinned up, and she wore midi skirts nearly every day of her life, and every time she walked in, the room softened around her. I asked her once how she did it, and she just smiled and touched the hem of her skirt and said, "The length, dear. It's all in where it stops." I didn't understand her then, I do now. So let me give you these 11, and let me give you Colette's secret first. Secret number 1, the hem landing point. This is the whole ball game, so listen close. A midi skirt should end at the slimmest part of your lower leg. For most of us, that is mid-calf, or just below it, right where the leg starts to taper down toward the ankle. What you never want is a hem that stops dead across the widest, roundest part of your calf, that bulge of muscle. Because wherever a hemline cuts your leg, that's the width the eye reads. If it cuts you at the widest point, you look wider and shorter, every time. If it lands at the narrow point, the whole leg looks longer and lighter. Same skirt, same body. Two completely different women in the mirror, and the only thing that changed was 3 or 4 inches of fabric. This is why so many of us gave up. We bought the skirt, it landed on the fat of the calf. We thought, well, middies just aren't for me. And we hung it in the back of the closet. It wasn't you, it was the hem. And a good tailor can move a hem for the price of a nice lunch. It is the single best money you will spend on a skirt. Secret number 2. The drape of the fabric. Once the length is right, the fabric is what does the rest. You want something fluid. A soft jersey, a coupro, a bias cut slip, a soft pleat that falls and moves. These fabrics skim right over the hip and the tummy and follow your shape without gripping it. They move when you move. Think of the difference between a curtain that hangs soft and a piece of cardboard standing on its edge. Soft fabric drapes down close to you and traces your real outline. The eye follows a gentle line. Stiff fabric holds its own shape regardless of yours, and that shape is almost always wider than you actually are. Now here's my honest word, and it's the opposite of what a lot of women assume. A stiff, structured A-line skirt, the kind that stands away from the body like a little tent, does not hide anything. It adds bulk. It holds space out around you where your actual body isn't, and the eye fills that space in as more of you. So a fluid skirt that grazes your real shape is almost always kinder than a rigid one that stands off it. I had this completely backwards for years. I used to reach for the stiff, structured skirts thinking they'd give me a neater line, and they made me look boxy. The soft ones I'd avoided were the ones that actually flattered. Live and learn. Secret number 3. Lengthen the leg that the hem interrupts. A midi hem stops your leg partway down, and you've got a few inches of bare leg or tights showing below it. What you put on your feet finishes that line, or it chops it off. A low heel, a modest block heel, or a pointed flat. Any of those lengthens the leg and carries the eye all the way down to a point. A chunky, round-toe shoe does the opposite. It stops the eye with a heavy, blunt full stop right at the bottom, and it makes the leg look shorter and stubbier. You don't need a high heel, please hear me on that. We are long past the age of suffering for a shoe. A 1-inch block heel or a comfortable pointed flat does the whole job. It's not the height, it's the shape, something that tapers instead of clunks. Secret number 4, define your waist. When you wear a midi skirt with a top just hanging loose over it, the eye can't find your waist at all, and you read as one straight column from shoulder to shin. So give the eye a landmark. A soft front tuck, just the front of the top tucked into the waistband, or a loose half tuck at one side, tells the eye, here, this is where her waist is. And that little bit of definition changes everything about how the whole outfit sits. Now let me be honest with you, because I don't want you thinking a full tuck flatters every tummy. It doesn't. If a full all the way around tuck feels too tight or too revealing across your middle, don't force it. That's exactly what the half tuck is for. Just the front, just a corner, loose and easy, so the top blouses softly over the rest. You get the waist definition without a single bit of pulling or gripping, and comfort waistbands are absolutely welcome here. An elastic or a soft pull-on waist tucks just as beautifully as a stiff one, and nobody on earth can tell the difference from the outside. I promise you, at our age, we've earned a waistband that doesn't dig in. You can be comfortable and defined at the very same time. Secret number 5. Keep the shoe and the leg in a continuous tone. This is a small thing that makes a big difference. When your shoe is a completely different, contrasting color from your leg, it chops the line right at the ankle and makes the leg look shorter, like your leg just ends abruptly and a shoe starts. But when the shoe is close to your own skin tone, a nude to you shoe I like to call it, or when your tights are matched to the skirt so the color carries down, the line flows unbroken from the hem all the way to the toe. Nude to you, by the way, means nude to your skin, whatever your skin is, not one beige for everyone. Match it to you. That unbroken line quietly adds length you didn't know you had. Secret number 6. the long line, keeping the skirt and shoe in the same soft family. This is the cousin of the last one. When your skirt and your shoe live in the same gentle tonal family, close to each other, the eye reads the whole lower half as one long, uninterrupted piece instead of a skirt, then a gap, then a shoe, and that single continuous line reads as height. Now, I'm not here to teach you color combinations today. That's a whole subject of its own. This is just a skirt styling move. Keep it tonal to lengthen. Same soft family, top to bottom, and you look taller without a single inch of heel. Colette did this constantly. Soft gray skirt, soft gray shoe, and she looked 6 feet tall at 5'2". Secret number 7. Choose the silhouette for how you feel best in it, not for what a chart tells you. There are a few midi shapes, and every one of them belongs on a real, lived-in body. A bias cut slip skirt skims right over the hips and moves like liquid. Lovely, if you like something soft and easy. A soft pleated skirt gives you gorgeous movement and swing, and it's very forgiving through the middle. A pencil-shaped midi suits a woman who likes a defined, tailored line and wants to show a bit of shape. And here's my real body honesty for you. You don't have to earn any of these. Every one of these looks wonderful on a soft tummy, on full hips, on a body that has lived a whole life. The magazines will show you all three on a size 4 20-year-old. Let me tell you plainly, they look every bit as beautiful on us, on real curves and real softness, often better because we finally know how to wear them. Pick the one that makes you feel like yourself when you spin around in the mirror. That's the right one. Secret number 8. For my petite friends, this one's for you, and I count myself among you. If you're shorter, a slightly higher waist on your skirt and a hem that ends just below the knee to about mid-calf will keep your proportions long. What shrinks a petite woman is a midi that's too long. A hem that drops down toward the ankle on a shorter frame eats up all your leg and can make you look like you're being swallowed by the skirt. It's the number one thing I got wrong for years with my own short calves. I'd buy the midi off the rack. It was cut for a woman 5'8", and on me it hung down to the worst possible spot and made me look about as tall as a fire hydrant. Get it hemmed up to your slim point. A petite woman in a properly shortened midi looks tall and elegant. The same woman in an unhemmed one looks lost. It is entirely about that hem. Secret number 9. Boots and a midi in the cooler months, because I know you're wondering how to keep wearing your skirts when it turns cold. This is one of my favorite looks, and there's a simple trick to it. You want the hem of the skirt to meet the top of your boot with little or no bare skin showing between them. Or, if there is a gap, let it be just a sliver of tights in a matching tone. What you don't want is a big bare stretch of leg peeking out between the bottom of the skirt and the top of the boot, because that open gap chops the leg in half and reads cold and awkward. Think of it like this. You're trying to keep one unbroken line from your waist all the way down to the floor, and a bare gap of skin cuts right through it like a scissor snip. When the skirt meets the boot cleanly, or a bit of matched tights bridges the gap, the leg reads as one continuous line right down into the boot, and it looks intentional and warm and pulled together. A knee-high boot with a midi that grazes its top edge, or a lower boot with your midi and matching tights carrying the color right down. Either way is one of the most elegant, cozy, quietly confident things a woman our age can wear in autumn. And your legs stay warm, which after 60, I will happily admit matters to me every bit as much as how it looks. Secret number 10. Anchor the eye upward, toward your face. Here's something I want you to really take in, because it's about more than fabric. A defined waistband, a tucked-in top, a soft belt at the middle. All of these pull the eye up, away from the hem and up toward your waist and your face. And your face is the whole point. That's where your warmth is, your smile, your eyes, everything that makes you you. When there's nothing to catch the eye up top, the eye just drifts down and gets stuck at the hemline. Give it a reason to come up, a belt, a tuck, a defined waist. They're not just about shape, they're a little arrow pointing up to the best part of the whole outfit, which is you. Secret number 11. And this is the one that made me fall back in love with midi skirts after years of avoiding them. The movement, a skirt with a little sway, a little swing to it as you walk, feels alive. It feels youthful in the truest sense. Not younger looking in some measured way, just alive, just joyful. There is a genuine, simple pleasure in the feeling of good fabric moving around your legs as you walk across a room. It changes the way you carry yourself. You stand a little taller. You move a little softer. I gave up on midis for years thinking they made me look dumpy, and it turned out to be the length and a clunky shoe the whole time. Not the skirt, and certainly not me. The day I got the length right and put on a proper shoe and felt that fabric move as I walked, I remembered why I loved them as a young woman. And Audrey Hepburn knew this her whole life, you know. That ease of a full midi skirt with a simple flat, letting the fabric do the moving. It was never fussy. It was just a woman comfortable and graceful at the same time. That's available to every one of us right now. Now. I promised you at the very top that I'd tell you the one thing that quietly ruins a midi skirt on absolutely anyone. Any size, any shape, any age. And here it is, because it ties everything together. It is the hem cutting straight across the widest part of your calf, paired with a flat, clunky, round-toe shoe. That is the combination. That's the whole villain. The hem lands on the fat of the calf and makes you read wide and short, and then the heavy blunt shoe stops the eye dead at the bottom and shortens the leg even more. Put those two together, and I don't care who you are, the skirt will look frumpy. It's not your body. It's those two things stacked on top of each other. And here is the 2-second fix, the one I use every single time. Move the hem up to the slim point of your leg, just below the calf muscle, and switch to a pointed flat or a low block heel. That's it. That is the entire difference between a midi that makes you feel dumpy and a midi that makes heads turn like Colette walking across that room. 2 seconds of thought when you get dressed, 1 trip to the tailor, and a shoe you already own. You didn't need a new body. You needed those 2 little changes. So there you have it, friend. 11 small secrets, and honestly the first one and the last one are the whole heart of it. Where the hem lands and what's on your feet. Everything else is polish. And I want to leave you with this, because I mean it with my whole heart. You are not too old for a midi skirt. You are not too old for any of this. You're just getting started. The woman who taught me the most about style was 78 and swishing across rooms in her midi skirts, and she had never looked more like herself. That can be you. Not a younger you. The truest you, the one who's lived a whole life and finally knows how to dress for it. Style at our age isn't about hiding a single thing. It's about feeling good in your own reflection, standing a little taller, and letting the fabric move as you walk. Everybody watching this is welcome here, exactly as it is. This was never about changing who you are. So do me a favor. Go stand in front of your closet, pull out the midi you gave up on, and just check where that hem lands. You might be one little alteration away from your favorite skirt. And then tell me down in the comments. What is the one midi skirt you own that you love but could never quite figure out how to wear? Tell me the color, the shape, everything. And let's problem solve it together, because I read every single one of these, and I love hearing about your closets. Until then, be kind to your reflection. I'll see you next time.